What if the years you call lost are not the end of your story, but the very place where God is preparing to reveal his restoring power? There are seasons when a person looks back and feels a deep ache, not because they have no future, but because they cannot stop staring at what feels wasted. Wasted time, missed chances, delayed dreams, wrong turns, painful detours, years that seem swallowed by grief, confusion, survival, fear, or simply not knowing what to do next. And when the heart lives in that place too long, it begins to whisper, "I am behind. I should be further. I missed my moment. Maybe it is too late for me now." But beloved, that is not the final word over a life held by God. The Lord is not limited by the timeline that frightens you. He is not trapped by the years that trouble you. He is not standing at the edge of your losses, wondering how to help you recover. He is the God of restoration, the God of divine reversal, the God who can heal what was broken, redeem what was delayed, and breathe hope into places you thought had gone too far. Listen to the promise in Joel chapter 2, verse 25. "And I will restore to you the years that the locust hath eaten." What a sentence! Not only the fruit, not only the harvest, not only the visible loss, the years. God does not speak carelessly. He knows how deeply time-related pain cuts into the human heart. He knows what it feels like to mourn not only what happened, but what never happened. He knows the sorrow of looking back and seeing seasons that seem eaten, damaged, stripped, or reduced. And yet he says, "I will restore." That means loss is real, but it is not sovereign. Delay is painful, but it is not final. The locust may have eaten, but the Lord still speaks over what remains. God, you do not only comfort us around our losses, you speak with power into them. You are able to restore what time, pain, fear, or brokenness seem to consume. And then comes the steady strength of Romans chapter 8, verse 28. "And we know that all things work together for good, to them that love God, to them who are the called according to his purpose." This does not mean all things were good. Some things hurt, some things were unfair, some seasons were deeply painful, some delays were confusing, some decisions were costly. But God is able to work through all things, through mistakes, through waiting, through detours, through grief, through lost confidence, through unfinished chapters, through years that now look blurred and broken. He can gather even these into his redemptive purpose. What if the season you call wasted still becomes part of the wisdom, humility, compassion, and strength that God uses in your next season? What if what felt like falling behind was also a kind of hidden preparation? What if God has been doing deeper work than speed could ever have produced? God, you are not only Lord of the years that looked fruitful, you are also Lord of the years that felt hidden, confusing, slow, and painful. And you are able to weave even those into something good. Then there is this powerful word from Isaiah chapter 60, verse 22. "I, the Lord, will hasten it in his time." That line carries so much hope, because one of the deepest fears in a delayed season is this: what if I never catch up? But the Lord is not bound by linear human timing the way we are. He knows how to prepare quietly and then move suddenly. He knows how to deepen roots slowly and then bring increase quickly. He knows how to take a long hidden season and then open a door no man could have arranged. He knows how to make up in one season what seemed impossible over many others. That does not mean we become reckless or demanding. It means we become hopeful. It means we stop treating delay as proof of abandonment. It means we trust that divine timing is not the same thing as divine forgetfulness. God, you are able to accelerate what you have ordained, to move swiftly when the time is full, and to bring restoration in ways no human timeline could have predicted. And maybe this is what some heart needs to hear this morning. It is not too late with God. Not because time does not matter, but because God is greater than time. Not because loss was imaginary, but because restoration is real. Not because you feel strong, but because the Lord still has power. He can restore more than you expected. And sometimes His restoration is not merely giving back what was lost. Sometimes He gives something deeper, wiser, holier, and better fitted for who you are becoming in Him. He may not simply rewind the story. He may redeem it into something more beautiful than the version you were grieving. And here is another truth that matters deeply. Preparation is often more important than speed. We often want quick movement, but God often wants deep formation. Before He lifts, He strengthens. Before He accelerates, He steadies. Before He opens wide spaces, He deepens the foundation. So do not misread hidden seasons. They may not be glamorous, but they may be sacred. The roots grown there may hold the fruit of your next season. The tears there may soften you for what success could have hardened. The waiting there may teach you trust that speed could never have built. And do not compare your journey with someone else's. Comparison is cruel to hope. It tells you their speed means your delay is failure. It tells you their visible progress means God has forgotten you. But the Lord does not write lives on identical timetables. Your story is not late if it is still in God's hands. Your path is not forgotten because it is different. The same God who opened for them still watches over you. The same Lord who planted promise in you still knows how to bring it forth. So what do you need today? Perhaps not immediate answers for everything. Perhaps what you need first is a heart that still believes restoration is possible. A heart that has not surrendered to despair. A heart that can still say, Lord, even now you can restore. Even now you can redeem. Even now you can make beauty from what feels behind. Because hope is holy, faith is holy. Refusing to call the story over before God has spoken His final word, that is holy too. So before we pray, let this settle deep in your spirit. The years may feel lost to you, but they are not beyond the reach of God. The opportunity may look missed, but your calling is not cancelled. The pace may have felt slow, but heaven has not been idle. And the God who restores, redeems and hastens in His time is still writing your story. Father, I come before you this morning carrying something many hearts rarely know how to describe well, the grief of time that feels lost. Not only pain from what happened, but pain from what did not happen. The years that seem swallowed, the chances that seem missed, the seasons that feel delayed, tangled, or broken. The quiet sorrow of looking back and thinking, I should have been further. I thought life would look different by now. I thought healing would have come sooner. I thought I would already be standing in a different place. Lord, you see that ache. You see the way it sits in the chest. You see the way it returns in quiet moments. You see the way regret and comparison try to preach to the soul. So I bring it all to you, not dressed up, not minimized, not explained away. Here is the pain of time lost. Here is the sadness of delay. Here is the part of me that still wonders how so much slipped by. And I ask you, heal this wound. Heal the grief over years that feel gone. Heal the shame attached to the seasons when I was confused, weak, afraid, distracted, or simply trying to survive. Heal the sorrow over opportunities that seem to pass me by. Heal the inner accusation that keeps saying, you ruined it, you missed it, you are too far behind. Let that voice lose its power in the presence of God, because your voice is not the voice of condemnation. Your voice is the voice of redemption. Your voice is the voice that still speaks into ruined places and says, I am not finished here. Lord, touch the deep bruise of regret. Touch the memory of what feels wasted. Touch the hidden grief over years I do not know how to get back. Heal me where time itself has become a source of pain. And Father, I ask you to restore the years that seem lost. Your word says in Joel chapter 2 verse 25, "And I will restore to you the years that the locust hath eaten." I hold that promise before you now, not as a slogan, not as a decoration, as a cry. Restore the years. Restore what felt eaten. Restore what felt stripped. Restore what looked barren. Restore what looked delayed beyond repair. Restore what the enemy tried to devour through fear, confusion, sin, pain, trauma, distraction, immaturity, or wrong voices. I know you do not merely hand back old things in a shallow way. Sometimes you restore by rebuilding deeper. Sometimes you restore by giving wiser, stronger, more beautiful fruit than before. Sometimes you restore by taking what seemed empty and making it part of a testimony no human hand could have written. So I am not demanding a rewind of life. I am asking for your redemption over it. Lord, breathe over every year I thought was gone beyond recovery. Bring life where I saw ashes. Bring fruit where I saw emptiness. Bring restoration where I saw only a long and silent loss. Father, deliver me from the crushing feeling of being behind. There is a cruel pressure in this world that keeps whispering, "You are late. You missed the window. Everyone else moved ahead. You should be further by now." And if the heart listens too long, that voice becomes a chain. It steals joy from the present. It poisons hope for the future. It makes the soul live in constant inward apology. But today I renounce that torment. I do not belong to the timeline of fear. I do not belong to the pressure of comparison. I belong to the God who holds times and seasons in his hands. Free me from the inner panic of feeling left behind. Free me from the shame of not being where I thought I would be. Free me from the restless need to catch up to everyone around me. Lord, my life is not late if it is still in your hands. My story is not forgotten because it unfolded differently. My path is not disqualified because it passed through slower places. Let that truth settle deeply into me and silence the oppressive clock of fear. And Lord, keep me from comparing my journey with other people. Comparison is a thief. It steals gratitude, peace, clarity, and holy concentration. It makes another person's visible season feel like a verdict over my own hidden one. It turns their pace into my accusation, their fruit into my shame, their open door into my silent despair. Save me from that poison. Teach me to honor what you are doing in others without despising what you are doing in me. Teach me to trust that different does not mean forgotten. Slower does not mean abandoned. Hidden does not mean fruitless. Unfinished does not mean unpromising. Lord, let me stop measuring my life against someone else's chapter when only you know the full architecture of my story. Give me grace to bless others without shrinking. Give me humility to admire without envying. Give me peace to walk my path without resenting its pace. Father, deepen in me the confidence that you are still writing a beautiful story, even now, even here, even after confusion, even after delay, even after years that looked unremarkable, even after seasons that felt broken. Let me believe again that the story is not over where the pain paused me. You are still writing, still weaving, still redeeming, still composing meaning where I saw interruption, still preparing beauty where I only saw fragments, still moving where I assumed nothing was happening. Lord, you are a better author than my fear is a narrator. Fear always writes endings too early. Fear declares chapters final that heaven still calls unfinished. but you know how to continue a story through mercy, through restoration, through wisdom, and through hope. So when my heart wants to say, "It is over," let faith rise and answer, "God is still writing." When my mind wants to close the book, let your spirit whisper, "There is more." Let hope not die in me. Let expectation live again. And Father, for every missed opportunity, I ask not merely for replacement, but for redemption that is wiser and better. There are doors I wish I had walked through sooner, conversations I wish I had handled differently, chances I wish I had taken, moments I wish I had recognized. But I place those too into your hands. You are not poor in options. You are not limited to one doorway. You are not trapped because one opportunity passed. If something truly mattered, you still know how to bring what is needed in a different form, at a deeper level, in a holier time. So where I see loss, bring better. Where I see missed timing, bring wiser timing. Where I see what I no longer have, show me what heaven can still release. Lord, do not merely return what was lost if you desire to give what is deeper, stronger, and more fitted to the person you are now forming in me. Let me not idolize old doors. Let me trust the God who still knows how to open new ones. Teach me, Father, to honor the preparation of this current season. There is a part of me that wants only movement, only proof, only visible progress. But you often care more about depth than speed, roots before fruit, character before platform, healing before expansion, truth before acceleration. So let me stop despising the hidden work. Let me stop rolling my eyes at the slow work of God. Let me stop calling all preparation delay. Some things must deepen before they can widen. Some foundations must strengthen before greater weight can rest on them. Some inner fractures must heal before the soul can safely carry the next season. Lord, if this is a season of preparation, then let me receive it as holy, not humiliating, as forming, not forgetting, as wise, not wasteful. Make me teachable in hidden seasons. Make me diligent where no one claps. Make me honest in the places that prepare me for what I cannot yet see. And Lord, teach me not to become frantic, even while hoping boldly. There is a holy balance I need. I do not want to become numb and hopeless, but I also do not want to become restless and demanding. Keep me from despair on one side and impatience on the other. Let me hope without forcing. Let me trust without controlling. Let me wait without collapsing. Let me remain tender, awake, and expectant, without trying to drag heaven by anxiety into my preferred timing. Lord, I do not want a dead heart, but I also do not want a frantic heart. I want a living heart, steady, hopeful, surrendered, and bright with trust. Let that kind of hope grow in me, the kind that can still smile quietly while waiting, the kind that can pray with tears and still say, God is good, the kind that can hold expectation without gripping it in fear. Father, when the appointed time comes, hasten what you have ordained. Your word says in Isaiah chapter 60 verse 22, I, the Lord, will hasten it in his time. I love that promise because it reminds me that you are never slow in the wrong way. You are never delayed by confusion. You are never late to what you have already decided. And when the season is full, you know how to move swiftly. You know how to open what stayed closed for years. You know how to bring clarity suddenly. You know how to establish in one season what seemed impossible through many others. So I ask for that kind of holy acceleration when the time is right. Not fleshly hurry, not anxious speed. Your acceleration, your timing, your wisdom. Lord, when you say now, no delay can stop what heaven has decided. When you say move, doors open, streams form, and years of hidden preparation begin to make sense. I ask you humbly, When the appointed moment comes, let it unfold under your hand with unmistakable grace. And Father, strengthen my faith while the answer is still unseen. I do not want my hope to depend on immediate evidence. I do not want my trust to survive only easy seasons. Train me in mature faith. Faith that remains when results are not visible yet. Faith that continues when the soil is still dark. Faith that does not quit because heaven seems quiet. Faith that remembers Romans chapter 8, verse 28. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to his purpose. Let that truth anchor me. Work together the delay, work together the detour, work together the disappointment, work together the strange years. Work together the mistakes that humbled me, the losses that softened me, the waiting that exposed me, the silence that deepened me. Lord, if you can work all things together for good, then even the slow years are not wasted in your hands. Teach me to believe that before I see it fully. Use every delay, Lord, to create lasting good. Not shallow good, lasting good, deep good, hidden good, character-forming good, Christ-shaped good. I ask you to extract wisdom from confusion, humility from failure, compassion from suffering, patience from waiting, tenderness from grief, spiritual depth from obscurity, and holy discernment from every season that forced me to lean harder on you. Let nothing be lost in your hands. Let every tear become part of the soil. Let every detour become part of the testimony. Let every slow season become part of the root system that holds the fruit to come. Lord, you are too wise to waste what you permit, and too loving to abandon what you begin. So let even my delays become useful to heaven. Let them produce something in me that speed never could have formed. And finally, Father, let me move through this day with trust, hope, and peace, not pretending nothing was lost, but refusing to let loss write the future, not denying delay, but rejecting despair, not forcing my own timeline, but believing that the God who restores is still active. Let my eyes be gentler. Let my breathing slow. Let my shoulders lower. Let my heart stop carrying the exhausting burden of catching up by its own strength. Let today be lived under grace, not under inner accusation. Lord, I step into this day not as one abandoned to regret, but as one held by the restoring hand of God. Let hope be my companion. Let peace be my atmosphere. Let trust be stronger than memory. Let your presence quiet the old ache and breathe fresh expectation into my soul. What if it is not too late? What if the chapter that looked empty becomes the place where God reveals his most tender mercy? What if the years you keep mourning are the very years he will gather up and redeem with a wisdom you cannot yet imagine? What if the story is not behind you, but still opening before you? Then keep me believing, Lord. Keep me yielded. Keep me soft. Keep me from surrendering to hopelessness before heaven has finished speaking. And now, Father, I lift up every person listening to this prayer. For the one grieving lost time, heal them. For the one ashamed of delayed seasons, free them. For the one comparing their path to others, quiet that torment. For the one desperate for restoration, breathe hope. For the one waiting for divine acceleration, steady them in trust. For the one whose faith is thin, strengthen it. For the one whose heart is tired from carrying regret, let peace come near. Let every listener know this in the deepest part of themselves. You have not forgotten them. You are not late to their life, and their story is still safe in your hands. So I bless you now, Lord, because you are the restorer of years, the redeemer of detours, the keeper of hidden seasons, and the author who writes beyond loss. Praise be to the God who does not leave his children buried under regret. Praise be to the God who knows how to bring beauty from delay, wisdom from brokenness, and hope from what once looked over. Praise be to the Lord who restores, redeems, hastens in his time, and keeps the story alive. I thank you, I trust you, and I praise you. In the faithful, restoring, and beautiful name of Jesus Christ, Amen. Can I share something personal with you before we close? There were seasons in my life when I looked back and felt more grief than gratitude. I could see what had not happened, what had been delayed, what I had misunderstood, and what I thought I had lost forever. And if I am honest, one of the hardest feelings was not only pain, it was the feeling of being behind. But over time, the Lord began teaching me a lesson I do not want to forget, and I do not want you to forget it either. God is not nervous about your timeline. He is not standing over your life in panic because something took longer than you expected. He is still able to restore, still able to redeem, and still able to bring beauty out of seasons you thought were only wasted. That has become a real lesson for my own heart. Sometimes what we call lost time was also a season where God was protecting us, humbling us, healing us, or preparing us in ways we did not understand then. Sometimes we think we need speed, but God knows we need roots. Sometimes we mourn what did not happen, while heaven is quietly preparing something deeper, stronger, and more lasting than what we first asked for. So if you are in a slow season, do not despise it too quickly. If you are grieving missed years, do not close the story too early. The Lord can still write with mercy on pages that look empty to you. That is why I want to encourage you today. Do not only listen to this prayer and move on. Take the lesson with you. Trust God with the years behind you. Trust Him with the season you are in now. Trust Him with the timing you still do not understand. And let your hope stay alive, because hope is one of the ways the soul keeps making room for restoration. If this prayer spoke to your heart, comment, "God is restoring my time." And I would love for you to share one thing you believe God is restoring in your life right now. Maybe it is your peace, your joy, your marriage, your calling, your confidence, your health, or your hope. Leave it in the comments so Grace Prayer can pray with you and stand with you in faith. May the Lord heal every place in you that still aches over lost time. May He teach you to see your story through His faithfulness, not only through your regret. And may He fill this day with fresh hope, quiet strength, and the deep assurance that your life is still in the hands of a restoring God.